we're TPKhaos coming back at you with our One D&D one-shot experience and gonna give you a review. We do have two brand new TPKs to add to our board here.
Those of which were not well earned.
Congratulations, guys. Mm-hmm. You guys suck.
Thanks.
And die.
You weren't here for this.
Well, I don't think I was here for like one.
No, you weren't here for either one of
because
them.
they were both for TPK for the One D&D stuff.
So anyways, let's get our thoughts on it. Let's just round it around. What you got?
Oh, so yeah, I had a fantastic time. You know, I enjoy being bent over by the lovely, what were they, Knolls? Knolls. So overall, they made some good changes, some not so good changes, obviously. The things I did like was they gave feats levels. To try to combat taking the best feat in an early level, I imagine the higher you go up the list, the higher level requirement it has. So I want to see what they do more with that. Bad changes, almost everything else. Almost everything else was a bad change, especially the crits, which I'm sure will not be in the final product.
Oh, come on. You don't like the idea of dwarves having Tremor Sense now?
I don't like the idea of if I play any magic character that rolls a dice, I instantly do 80% less damage on average.
And on the note of that Tremor Sense, I'm not 100% sure how that's played now because they say that is not blind sight.
It's not.
It's only Tremor Sense.
Yeah,
so
Tremor
you can
Sense
only
is when you're touching the ground.
Get a general feel of something near you, or does it
So have you watched
pinpoint where they're at?
Have you watched Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yeah, Toph.
Toph,
yeah.
it's the exact same concept. She can feel anything that the vibrations through anything she's touching. It's the exact same way. But the moment she's off the ground, nothing. That's the exact same with Tremor Sense.
So is it like that, but like more nerfed for dwarves?
And they can use it as a bonus action.
Or is it like that ridiculous?
Is that ridiculous?
Well, it takes a bonus action, though.
It takes a bonus action.
Oh, yeah, it is a bonus action.
Okay.
It is a bonus action.
I thought it was like a
no, they don't
it's
automatically
reaction
have that.
sense.
You just get that 24/7. Every time you walk around, you see where everything is.
It's not like dark vision.
All right, well, so what are some of your thoughts on One D&D?
So I haven't I wasn't really in the one shot, so I don't really have a lot of experience for the new edition. I noticed a couple of things, like, you know, with the feat thing, or how you can take a skill a couple of times, like more than once. I kind of like that, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Caleb?
I really liked the character creation. It's really I like it a lot more than 5e's. You have to think a lot more about how your character is going to go because you pretty much have to set up your build at the beginning. The things I didn't like is I was playing a spellcaster the entire time. I felt like I was completely neutered the entire time. And
How did it feel not making a difference when you should have? We should not have lost that second fight with your 6 crits.
Did you lose?
It was like 6.
I thought it was like 4.
It was around. I was gonna say 5, so it's around that number.
2 and 4. Remember, it was 2 in the first game that didn't matter, and then 4 in the second
Oh,
game
you're
that
talking
did
about
matter.
over both.
Yeah,
100%.
I did 6 crits with the firebolt, and that should have been so much more damage, and it did nothing.
Well, you would have killed 2 of the creatures immediately, so we wouldn't
Pretty
have
much.
lost the last fight.
Pretty much.
2 of them would have been dead.
And he only had like 7 hit points by the time you guys died.
No, he had 2, remember? If I rolled 2 higher, he would have died, so...
Yeah, that's actually my gripe with the whole thing is how nerfed the whole thing is. I understand where they're coming from because I very much love roleplay, and it seems like they're trying to orient it to more balanced and less combat focused overall, but they're doing it the wrong way. Nerfing everything is not right. Making everything more universal is the way they need to go, and I feel like nerfing crits was the worst thing they've done so far in this whole playtest.
But you gotta say, like, Wizards of the Coast is also being a big fat tease, though, by giving us, what was it? I think a normal player's handbook is like 300 pages, somewhere around there. They gave us 22. You gave us stuff
it's
for...
supposed to be built off of the player's handbook, and it's supposed to be backwards compatible.
But think about it. Say they gave us stuff that's like, you know, you make a character at level 5. They gave us like, you know, more like the middle end stuff instead of like the low end at level 1. That would have been better to play test to like a more rapid audience.
Yeah.
Because think about it. In most games, I think you even said this, in most campaigns, 1 to 3 is you're a beginner. You're a new player. the last time we started a campaign, we didn't even start at level 1. We started at level 3.
Yeah, you start at 3 because that's your character's identity. They have their skills have finally come into power. You know, level 1s are stupid.
So I feel like it was a missed opportunity for them to just give us content that was based around level 1 and 2. They should have done 5, 6, 7, 8, or hell, they could have even done level 20 if they wanted to.
I think that's a lot more complicated, though, because then you have different pieces trying to work together, and it's not going to work together without extreme refinement.
They should have given us more to play test than what they did. They didn't include a single class in there, and I understand the classes is probably the most intricate, like, balance they're trying to work out, but they couldn't include just 1 or 2 classes for us to play test at least?
Even in the early levels.
Yeah, I mean, it would just been something.
What were you going to say?
I forgot.
Later levels?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say like higher levels, they're really hard to balance.
They are.
Like sometimes it's either like super overpowered or like really, really, really underwhelming.
Yeah, I feel like some stuff like the Barbarians level 20 feature.
Worthless.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of some level 20 features, it doesn't even matter. Like sometimes that's why I multi-class or like don't even like max out a class. Like I just multi-class. And
that's actually
it doesn't the level 20 thing just doesn't really matter to me.
That's actually what I'm interested in seeing in the future is how they do classes, because stuff like the Druid's level 20 feature is kind of insane due to the fact that the Druid has 2 wild shapes for the entire time until they hit level 20. Then they have infinite. Explain to me that logic, Sherlock. Like,
that's
I think it should go up gradually.
It should. It really should. And they just don't. I don't understand it.
But that's just, unfortunately, that's bad writing.
But I really want to see the future classes.
You shouldn't just go like the whole game, like just only having 2 wild shapes a day and then suddenly, oh, no, you can just do it infinitely now.
Yeah, and what makes it even weirder is the fact that, at very specific levels, you get a new movement speed with them and you get a higher CR. I feel like, you should get that initial wild shape, then every level or 2 you get some buffs to your to the number of times you can wild shape.
But now we're kind of getting off topic.
It's fine.
I mean, it's feature balancing.
One thing
options.
that's like giving fighter infinite action surges.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what I'm interested in seeing in the future.
Stupid.
How do they handle all these change classes?
Yeah, I think
want to
it's
see
gonna be
that.
very
Especially with like rogues and paladins being kind of neutered with their, since a lot of people play rogues and paladins to do lots of dice all at once.
That's true.
How are they going to mess with smites and sneak attack?
There are definitely certain builds that people can run that have just been ruined by the changes made. No, it's something they need to fix. I mean, what's going to end up being is whatever rules that they enact for the new One D&D, people are just going to homebrew it out. So what's the point of you even writing it in the first place if it's going to be immediately changed at every table?
I've already seen a video say that.
It's what it feels like. It feels like homebrewed, and it's not very good homebrew, in my opinion.
It feels like Unearthed Arcana stuff that they would have put out that felt very broken, but there's... By them putting this out first and saying this is probably what we're going to go with, it feels kind of rushed and kind of bad.
The things I liked and didn't like on it was I did like some of the new races. I like the Ardlings.
Same.
I think that's probably the best one they could have come up with. A lot of people say that it's stepping on the toes of like being a diva or something, but I find they're good and original, and they have like the flight limitation is a good balance with that one. But on the other hand, I hate that the DMs can't crit. I don't like that your added dice don't crit, backstab, smite, stuff like that. You're really taken away from the glory of the moment. How many times have we you crit and you dump everything into it, and it's like the most fantastic, awesome finishing move. Everybody's screaming and cheering. You're like, oh no, take that out of the game.
You can't do that no more.
Yeah, you can't do that. Now your crit does 1d6, so 2 damage.
But it's not even like...
that is a change that I really, really do not like. I think that should stay the original way.
Yeah, I even said that during gameplay. I said if we take on these rules. That's something we would
Just
homebrew.
out, yeah.
And
Is
they-
that we're crits are all the dice that you're rolling.
I think it was you that made the point at some point. I don't know if you did it on camera at all, but it was adamantine is now
Worthless.
basically
worthless
pointless.
now.
Because
Yeah.
its whole point was that any hit that was a critical is just a normal hit now. Well, the only way you'd wear it is if you're fighting monsters that could crit, or
Monsters
if you're
can't
Or if you're
crit.
And
PvP.
Yeah.
and PvP is something that's very rare and never pretty much
Yeah.
happens
Yeah.
unless it's a specific PvP
Yeah, so
moment.
monsters don't crit, so your adamantine armor might as well sell
And-
for scrap.
Was it worded that the DM can't crit or monsters
Can't crit.
Monsters can't crit. So the DM PCs can still crit, which means that if you created a DM PC and threw it at the players, that could still crit. And that would be a good reason to have adamantine. But how often
and
are
then the
DMs going to do
adamantine
that?
armor reduces that damage by 1 or 2 because it's only the weapon damage. So you're still
yeah, you can't have
it's
a-
not that
you
much
got
of a
this
difference.
expensive armor that you're wearing the entire campaign to reduce your damage by 1 or 2 points throughout the campaign.
The only
not worth it
reason the
anymore.
only reason to have it on you would be in case of encountering a crit fishing fighter.
Yeah, so
That's
you're
very
randomly
specific.
walking
Very
through the
specific.
woods. I see a fighter just standing there menacingly.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pull
that's
out
too
my
specific to have
adamantine.
adamantine. There's no reason to have it now.
And another thing I don't like is the inspiration. I don't like it.
What?
You guys liked that?
Oh,
I
I
did
did.
not like that at all. I didn't like the inspiration. I don't like tracking it.
We
I don't like that.
use inspiration at all. At least that way it gives them something for it.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't care
Interesting.
for it. I don't care that the humans get it. I find it kind of useless. Half the time you guys found it useless. You were already gave yourself advantage one way or another.
It's because-
you
I
didn't
feel
really
like-
need it. And then there's
Well, we did
most of the
pass it
time-
around though. We passed
did.
inspiration
Yeah,
around.
I don't like that either. How come he's getting inspiration for something you did?
Well, I
Because
was
he's
inspired. I was
inspired.
like, wow, that was really cool. I feel inspired.
It's some
do-
BS. I don't
I
like
will
it.
I do kind of understand it. I will say I don't think it's built to cater towards us because as we've been saying off camera that we are kind of mechanically geared towards D&D,
Yeah.
and you've made the point. Not a lot of people are like that. So for us, we mechanically build our characters to do a lot of that advantage fishing all the time, but probably most people don't. And so it's probably better for another group of people, most other groups of people actually.
Like we don't even use inspiration in our home games. Like the option has always been on the table, but we've just never done it. I think our first campaign we tried a little bit here and there, but we just kind of dropped
We tried
it.
with the coins. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
passed
tried.
around.
We tried implementing it. We just don't use it. I don't use it as a dungeon master. Period. The end because
it was
I can't
an
keep
alright
track of it.
idea.
It was a good idea. I loved it,
yeah.
and I loved the
liked
coin
it.
that I got.
It's not bad, but like it feels like a lesser reward. It's like you got second place whenever you rolled a crit.
Yeah.
Because like you feel better whenever you deal lots of damage, but like what happened a lot of time during the one shot is like one of the 4 times I rolled a crit with my level 2 character, everyone already had inspiration. So
Yeah,
it just
so
kind
it
of
just
just
evaporates
disappeared.
anyway.
It felt even worse.
Yeah, now it's like, oh, well, I got a prize for you. Oh, yeah, you can't use it, so I'm just going to throw it in the trash over
It's like,
here.
oh yeah, here's your little prize. Oh, it's going in the glass case and it says someone else's name on it.
What also made it
and now
weird?
it's gone.
What also made inspiration weird for me was the fact that it wasn't like a DM specific decision on how it worked. I know a lot of in 5e there were a lot of times where I played with DMs who didn't know what it actually originally did in the
Yeah.
books, and they just decided what it would do based off of their own decisions. In their home game, they're like, here's how I run it. You just get advantage, or you get to completely re-roll that whole set of dice, or you get extra damage.
And
or-
originally, it was supposed to be a
whatever.
reward for role playing your weaknesses.
Yes. But now, now it specifically explicitly states you get advantage with this, and everybody is reading up on this these new rules, so everybody knows it gives you advantage. How kind of weak.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, if it gave me like a buff to it, to my AC or my damage or whatever, that would be a much better version for
If
crit.
you could use that to make you deal double damage, then I think it would have been better.
I do too.
Like if you could use it like, hey, you can use your inspiration to deal double damage, give yourself advantage, or give yourself a different buff in some way, then I think it would have been maybe a bit more balanced, and then everybody could get a little bit of both worlds.
Or if you roll a 20 and you have inspiration, then you can get full dice damage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I do want to say something about character creation. From my understanding, it goes instead of the races getting ability score improvements, it's the classes now, and
It's
the
the
race
backgrounds.
It's the background.
the background.
Which is
Backgrounds.
really good. That is the one thing they hit the nail on the head with, in my
Yes.
opinion, is that like forget all the backgrounds, all the races and stuff. You get so many points you can spend. You get so many skills. Just put it on whatever you want. I
Yeah.
really
Now,
like that.
here's my thing. If it's just like a background thing, I think it would be weird to see like a barbarian kobold being stronger than this like little tiny bard Goliath.
Yeah,
you
you
know?
can have a halfling stronger than like a Goliath.
But
Or
here's
like
why
a
they,
half
here's
orc.
why they
To me
ex-
that'd be weird.
But here's why here's how they explained it in their like their videos and why they did it. It's because the ability score improvements, it's like, you know, they were initially connected to these races and these species of creatures, but as time has gone on, they've realized, well, like even, you know, humans, we're all in real world, humans have so many diverse physical attributes and mental attributes, and that's because of their different upbringings and where they come from, you know, like
And I like it because I'm currently playing a small character that is very strong.
yeah, it's like
It's uncanny.
you can
know?
explain as to why your character is incredibly strong or incredibly weak compared to most of the people that they're around, because hey, maybe they were just, you know, a bodybuilder and they particularly went out of their way to make themselves incredibly strong. Or
to me it's like a half complaint and then other half that's kind of weird.
It's weird, but I definitely gets a thumbs up from me. I like that.
I
I think it's nice because they also like kind of gave us backgrounds, but they also said like, hey, you can make your own backgrounds,
Yeah.
but here are the
Those were
strict.
all examples of
Those were all
backgrounds
just-
anyway. So
yeah.
like you can
I
just
liked that.
make up your own, or you could take one of theirs and be like, well, I want to be a farmer, but instead of the strength attribute, I want to throw another point onto con, or
Yeah.
however you want to mix and match them.
I like how they specifically said these are just like base templates. You don't have to use these if you don't want to.
That
They
was
just-
my favorite
They're
thing
just like
about
you get
the
a
whole
+2
thing.
to one stat, a +1 to one, some skills, some languages, a mixture of them, and a level 1 feat.
All right, once around the table, quick last thoughts. The new rules way underpower the players. I demolished them when I shouldn't have as a DM. I feel like the lack of crits are weak, and overall, the counterbalancing the power creep they were working on, but I kind of liked the power creep.
You should have given us more to work with than what you did. You did not do a solid there, Wizards.
The whole crit thing, not a big fan of it.
I wish they had adjusted the crits a little bit. And I also wish that there were better level 1 feats for spellcasters. There was
Yes,
a lot more martial.
I agree with you that.
There's a lot of level 1 martial feats, but not a lot for spellcasters.
I wasn't a big fan of the low level feats anyways, because I always like Misty Step or something
So
like
I'm
that.
sure
love it.
I
they'll bring
am
it
a-
up.
I am a fan of the crit and crit fail skill checks though.
Yes.
I do like that.
Yeah, good. Somebody brought that one up.
I personally loved the new character building aspects. Did not like the attempt at better balancing. I like the idea of the attempt, but I don't like how the execution. But I am interested to see how they handle classes in the future. That's probably my most anticipated thing.
Sweet. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Throw us a like and subscribe. Come on, we're trying to grow this channel. We hope y'all like this more technical end of the D&D spectrum. So
Help
join us in for home games. And
Help us put more tallies on that
yeah,
board.
we need to fill this up.
Help
These
us not
people
put
need
more
to go
tallies on that
down.
board.
Yes, help us fill it up.
Guys, you gotta do it.
For every like, I'll lose 1 HP.
Oh jeez. Oh man, that's how you get it going.
Wow.
You're already dead then.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank you guys for checking out today's video. We post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for more glorious D&D content. Please like, comment, subscribe, throw it all down below. We always appreciate it, and we will see you guys next week.